Mirror, mirror on the wall, how come I'm so far away? What's going on? Don't you see how they move the light in and out? Because they don't want you to see these things. If we can do it, then it's possible. Doesn't that look crazy? Let's get into the light. The corridors all the way up, the way they're all twisted. Anyways, what I really wanted to show you right now, okay, is something I saw in a message from somebody. Let me see where it is. I got to find it first. And it's not here. Oh, that one went away. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. Okay, I think it's here. Okay, can you see that? Okay, can you? Whoop! The page moved. Can you see what that is? That, okay, is a potato. That's the way it grows. The string that you see over here on that potato, that's what they do to potatoes. Every one of our vegetables and elements and whatever we have here, let me get back to the screen, whatever we have here on earth, okay, was developed by a creation of something. If God said he created everything, then he did. But now it's being manipulated by the scientists underneath wherever we are, below the earth, not inside the ocean, under the ocean, on the other side of the ocean. We're standing up on the letter M. How do you think the letter M became what it became? The letter M is a V and two legs holding up. You see the rounds here that goes on my head? It holds it up on each side and it caves in like this. And it makes that U for Urantia because that's where we're placed inside these discs. And then we're scattered to live here for a period of X. I mean, what's so far-fetched about what I'm talking about? The matrix in the sky. Let me have a cigarette. You don't mind if I get a cigarette and interrupt you? You see the matrix in the sky, okay? In the sky, in disguise. You know what I'm saying? In the sky, in disguise, to be disguised. The skies is a disguise. Everything mathematically calculated and placed into the system so somebody's mind won't figure this out because it's smooth. It's smooth, man. So then if they say very few people will figure this out, but if you take the whole wide world and if everybody knew 1/1,000,000% out of the whole world, if we put all that together, of the 7 billion people, we'd end up with 10, 20, maybe 30 stories. Not much, right? But those stories, once those people sit in the same room and everybody hears that story, now everybody has a story of that story, showing that the story is inside the story. Why are we here? What are we doing? What are we working? We're working. We're thinking. We're playing. We're drinking coffee. We're going out, smoking a joint, having a beer. That's what we're doing. We're trying to make our life the most interesting and the most fun possible. Okay? But deep down inside of us, there's something we actually always, we don't hide it, but the familiarity of the word love, okay, is very, very, can I use the word? I'm not very good in English. I'm going to use the word, it's complex, okay? There's so much that's involved in it. Yes, the end point, and to love is to love. Do you have to die for your love? Well, the thing goes like this. If you die for her because of love, someone sacrifices, yet the love is still there, but you're gone forever in this planet. So, the two of you, if they're trying to take one of you away, the two of you have to stand up. You go together. That's the true love. One can stand up first, but the woman has to come up later and just jump in. But if the kids are here, okay, now that's a question. Because if the kids are involved, they're involved in the Jewish holidays, the Passover holidays, Allah holidays, Alakazam, Alakazoo, here comes Christ, what about you? The kids got to jump in too. Because if you all really believe in God, once they take you all away, it's perfect. You remain a family, and God opens up the door in the next world and says, you know what? That's what you were supposed to do. It's the craziest thing in the world. But you see that the formation is that nobody's ever really come back to life. And of course, it's, what do you want God to shove people in and out? And people are going to say, okay, what's going on? And some people have come back to life because there's doubles. I'm not sure if there's doubles of all of us, but when you get the dice in your hand and you throw them and you get doubles one time, you're okay. If you get doubles twice, you're okay. 2 and 2 is 4 corners. But if you get doubles the third time, you're in jail because you broke out of the house. The third doubles can only be in the upside down world. And that means you're no longer right side up here, you're upside down there, but there you're right side up. You're up, we're down, we're up, just like China, just like the TV shows, just like Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam. Oh yeah, oh, what a lord of Yosemite Sam, right? So we're upside down and inside out, sitting in a pond called Jupiter, in which Jupiter uses all these moons that we actually can't see because they look so far away when they're actually just the satellites in the sky. And they're communicating constantly with everything that's going on. I mean, it's very simple. The underneath planet is 789 on your telephone, okay? Plus, it supports the 2 other planets. One of the planets is a 789 planet because it brings in the God of the heaven of the earth. The other one holds the God of the heaven of the earth and is the God of the heaven of the earth. But we can't count the 4th side because that's what he is out of the realm of what's going on in our world. So 789 and 789. Now, what's man's world? Well, like I said, deaf, dumb, and blind kid, 4, 5, and 6, 4 and 6, 6 and 4. The 5 is just a passage to go over from one side to the next. 4, 5, and 6 equals 15. 7, 8, and 9, 7, 8, and 9 equal 48. 48 and 15, we have 63 moons on Jupiter. And the reason we have 3 less moons on Saturn is because if you look out, Earth has 1 moon and Mars has 2 moons. And they're not associated in this right now. So there goes your 3 moons. So now we have 63. And then we have 31 on Neptune, because Neptune talks for Earth and the same time talks for Mercury. So we have, I think it's 31 moons if I'm right. I might have the wrong planet. And Uranus and all these moons are all calculated. Everything's computer calculated. The word Einstein. You see, if you see enough of my calculations and you start saying, okay, this one goes here, this one goes here, the guy's crazy. He's got all these calculations, but how do we put them together? Because we're never putting them in the right spot. Or we're not understanding how he used the equation and he calculated, but what was the tool? What was the tool of the calculation? Was it a plus? Was it a minus? Did I have to flip everything upside down? Was there a decimal? Was there a dot? Was it digital? What was the fancy writing? And how come we always use X, okay, in most terminologies as 10 and rather than the letter 24? Because X and O are very special. They made a special game for the X and O. They had a place for all the X's and all the O's and Y's. That's why. We're them. We're the egg, we're the X, and we're the Y, because we're split between 2 sides all the time. Always deciding that the stick that runs down the center bone of your sternum is the creation of the understanding of, anybody home? I'm home, and I'm not leaving. Another thing I have to go is that Einstein, Switzerland, Einstein, US, Einstein, Germany, you know, so something's a little weird about, you know, Germany, because, you know what, it's closer Germany to China and Hong Kong than it is actually the US, if I'm correct or incorrect, I'm not quite sure. But the passage underneath the Baltic that runs right now, the element of spirit that connects, is faltering, because it's at the end. That Arctic glacier that moved away, when you know what, when you pull on a boat, right, if you're holding onto the string, onto the cord on that boat, and somebody pushes the boat, you go into the water, right? If you don't go into the water, you rip your arm off. So that's what's happening right now. Certain elements of matrix have to replace themselves. Okay, that's finished. The cycle is done. By 2051 or 52, you'll see the full change. Well, 2052. because that's when the number of man is 52. 52 hearts, 52 weeks. It goes all the way up to the end. Oh, but it starts way before that. The simple spirit starts at 1/6, which is 2016, will actually be the calendar saying 00007, which is actually 01, but 1 and 6 is 7. So 016 2016 will actually be 0007, because the cycle is restarting. You have to have the 7, because the 1 passage is the 3 passage, is the 5 passage, is the 7 passage, is the 9, which means this one is called Area 1 or 51, but it's the 7th creation connecting the 313 formation. 313 formation. 313 formation. This way and this way. So, where am I at? I was looking at some things. When I wrote St. Louis, right? Because I wrote it wrong, it ends up looking like Fidel Castro, a Fidel man who was in his home, and he had a rope around his neck, and he had no choice but to do everything that he has done. And he will not turn around because everybody will be against him. Gold communication, 0. Zorro, 0. All he needed was one hand, right? All he needed was one hand. That's all God has. He only has one hand in this world, because the other hand's in the other world. He's taking care of 2 worlds while 3 worlds are going on right here. Pretty weird, eh? So where is Earth again? Far away. Can we get there? It's like Disneyland. What do you mean Disneyland? Disneyland. Ireland. Netherlands. New Zealand. New says backwards Ven. Now German involved in this. Ven is a ventilation. It's a vein on a chicken. Ventolin is to be able to breathe. It's a vein. Then we have, listen to this, it's a big hoax. Gas and diesel, it's a hoax. And you know that? And one of the reasons it's a hoax is because of Firefox. Just because Firefox gets eliminated, okay, you can see the colors of the fox, okay, the yellow tail just turning, the energy is there, you can see it, and it's burning up the tail of the fox. The orange fox, which is a combination orange of the yellow Christ and the red Spirit of God. Now it's burning up because Beta's using it against us now. So I think actually Firefox should be up there right now and not off the system. The Mars, Champ de Mars, one of the places in the city. It means drop them in the fields, it means. Drop them in the fields. So right away we're starting that French there that I say God is so often. It seems like the French have a big contact in this. The French, Italy, the Pope, and the group, the Colombians, and the Mafia. Okay, the first 2 people I say are safe. Okay, in my book, Mafia, safe. Whatever they're doing, they have no choice but to continue. Okay, they're being pressured by somebody higher up. Colombia, drugs, well, that's okay. I smoke them anyways. I think they're shipped out to China. Whatever they're doing there is getting shipped to China somehow. That's why we're buying all this schmata, and it's so cheap, because there's a bigger game going on around there. And they purposely made all these people be there, because they can make them be there and they can make them disappear. Gone. Hey. Everybody's involved in this. Now, who are the guilty parties? Well, you know what? When I'm associated with close to maybe 20 followers and possibly 6 billion people against me, I think I'll leave that one out, right? I can tell you 2 sides about the government. They're forced into this as well. And because of the greed, you see, God's got to test everybody at their own level. So he tested those who are rich also by putting them into government. But they get greedy and they say, there's a God, what's he going to do anyways? But they don't understand. You see, nobody really knows the truth about the game we're in. We know what love is all about, or do we? Do we know what gold and silver is all about, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the 12 days of Christmas? You know what? I got to come out here and do the 12 days of Christmas under my painted up face, and I have no more paint, so I'm going out shopping for some paint. And my guy in the back there, he wants a stripe, he told me. He says he's been living underneath the scales. The scale of time is the dragon that trounces over us. It's the red dragon because it's the spirit that comes get us back. It's the red dragon. That's a good dragon. Is there a bad red dragon on this earth? Now you ask yourself a question. Because in pool, the 3-ball of creation is a red dragon. The 3-ball represents you and me. With the one spirit, yellow, we become the orange men. Orange in French, or, says gold. Ange, angel. We are the golden angel. It's our mind. It's nothing else but what our mind does. It's what our mind does in our business. We have an F plate for the mind. It's a business place. And we are in the beta world. So we're creation. Creation is W. The beta world is a B. And well, we're basically called man. So that would just say BMW, right? Like, how much closer do you want to get from the number 344 on a car? 3 creation, 44 means space that you take up in life. S-P-A-C-E means espouse. It counts to 44. S&P, Standards and Poor's. Would you figure it out? And wouldn't you believe it's the last number of the Spirit of God on the first 18 of roulette, and it's the first one of the Spirit of birth on the second part of the 18 of roulette. So I'm not sure if you really followed me and understood, but this whole thing is computer generized. Everything. It's insane because I couldn't find it this easy unless they made it easy to find. Yeah. Or unless I'm insane. Now, you want to get down to sanity. The sanity is it's 3 o'clock. Don't walk all over my stuff here, baby. Okay? So, the sanity of who I am, I'm just, what you do is you go over to the kitchen cabinet and you get some tea and you open up the cookie jar. And inside it says, watch one of MrTacpans's videos. See what he has to say. He's not right about anything, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for you to use your mind and see what you think about it and the possibilities that MrTacpans's gives you when you open up one of his fortune cookies. So I am fortunate to be able to have something where my cookie belongs. Oh my God. All these cats are wild. They're so crazy. You think they love me? I love my cat communication angel transmission right here. There is the transmission right from the butt end of the cat. Say hello in the picture. Say hello. The picture. They made them colorblind purposely so they wouldn't have any judgment in the world. So they took away their color. And the dogs, well, they're like, why do we all get cataracts and some of us are dogs? Be well, my friends. Raphael 7286. Raza, raza, raza. Razamadaz and show me a new game, my friends. I am up and ready to aim for the best that I can be for all of us, just not only me. It is for a you and a very big, wide, expanded you. My you is so big, it's flat and it extends and it doesn't bend the ends until it bends everybody into one. We are one united family, unhappy in the interior, but the knowledge to know that there is and there are and there still will be at least one who promotes the goodness from the interior of one heart. And I will stand in front. I will definitely stand in front. As long as everybody else is behind me, you turn around, I become last. You turn around, I become first. Look at that. I was just as good in the back end as I was in the front end.